Doesn't matter if it's a road bike, mountain bike, city cruiser or a touring bike. You are just enjoying the ride on your sweet bike. Everything is smooth, no issues at all, and working like a charm. So, what could possibly ruin your vibe when everything is going perfectly and you are out there cycling with comfort and top-notch performance? If you don't have any idea, in this episode I'm going to spill the beans on some of the major buzzkills that can get on your nerves even when everything seems perfect. First, messing around with random handlebars, saddles, stems and pedal cleat parts on your bike without making the necessary adjustments, it's a big mistake. Our bike has three major contact points: pedal, saddle and handlebar stem setups. These pieces directly influence how we sit on the bike and how we perform. And similarly, the most easily changeable parts on the bike, driven by concerns like weight and aesthetics, often lead to trouble. When making these changes, if you don't pay attention to preserving existing settings or selecting new parts that match the current measurements and compatibility, it can mess things up. For example, handlebars come in at least 2-3 different values concerning width, angles, shapes and geometries. Even having just one of these different can significantly alter the feel of your ride. So, having both handlebars with the same reach doesn't necessarily mean they will provide the same feel. The same for ghost saddles. Changing your comfortable saddle just because it's lightweight or someone recommended, it's like cutting the branch you are sitting on. If you are comfortable, hands off, don't touch it. Because each saddle's shape and padding material can give you a different feel. Even if you mount them at the same height and distance to the handlebar, the different shapes mean your posture and feel will be different. Or pedals and cleats or shoes, sure, changing shoes is normal, but trying to mount the cleats in the same position just by looking how they look similar and the shape can lead to unexpected results. Second, when your lower back or shoulders or neck starting to get hurt, don't rush to shorten your stem or start raising your handlebar to sort it out. If your lower back hurts, the issue might not be the distance or height of your handlebar. Rather, your saddle's height and back and forward adjustment might be wrong. Having your saddle too high or low, especially causing severe pain on the sides on your lower back, could be the problem. Similarly, your neck might hurt not because your handlebar is too far, maybe actually it's too close. Or if your handlebar is higher than it should be, it might compress your neck and shoulders, leading you to neck, hand and wrist pain. Going straight to the getting short stem or raising the handlebar can make the problem even worse. 3. Neglecting to open up and clean under your bar tape or not changing it in a timely manner is more crucial for the bikes with drop bars, especially if you use your bike frequently in wet conditions or spend a lot of time on a trainer. Handlebar tapes, regardless of the material and purpose they are made for, have a sponge-like structure. Once they get wet, they retain the moisture and actually take a long time to dry. Particularly in this case of sweaty rides, the moisture combined with the salt in it, absorbed by the handlebar tape, can linger under the handlebar tape for a long period of time. This can lead to corrosion on metal handlebars like aluminum ones, or damage to carbon handlebars in the areas like gear cable clamps, shifter clamps or the metal part connections, or like the other hidden spots. Also, due to sponge-like structure, handlebar tapes, no matter how clean they appear, provide an ideal home for all the dust, dirt and microscopic pests from the air and your hands. That's why I usually advise all my athletes and customers to carefully open and clean under the handlebar tape at least every 6 months and replace it entirely once a year. For example, at the beginning of the season, you can wrap a new bar tape, and then at the end of the season, you can open it up, clean underneath, and replace it at the beginning of the next season. Additionally, some bar tapes, despite being resistant to the wear and tear, can quickly lose their softness and cushion, that they can lead to discomfort on your hands. 4. Neglecting to check your bike tires and not inflating them properly could be a real headache. Getting a high performance, puncture resistance and comfortable tire often leaves a significant dent in our wallets. That's why it's crucial to check the tire pressure and condition before every ride. Using tires with lower pressure than the recommended for your weight and riding conditions can lead to rapid wear and tear, especially on the sidewalls of the tires. Cracks and tears may develop on these sections. On the other hand, using tires with the higher pressure than recommended not only reduces the grip, but also makes them less resistant to punctures. You don't have to inflate your tires up to maximum pressure indicated on them. Putting the maximum amount of air won't make you go faster. In fact, it might make you slower and riskier. Also, it's a good idea to check your tires for harmful objects like thorns, small glass pieces, especially after each ride. If you neglect this, these objects can cause your tire constantly deflate without you noticing. Carefully removing these objects and ensuring the tire is clean is an essential thing. Of course, it's preferable not to use a tire that's worn out and flattened on the top or filled with cracks for safety reasons. It's worth checking these aspects as well. 5. Yes, I know WD-40 has specialized products for bicycles, but that's not our focus here, because those products are often not readily available, and anything with WD-40 written on it gets mixed up. However, the general purpose of WD-40 is not actually a lubricant. It's a product with degreasing and rust dissolving properties, and expecting it to lubricate over the time is an absurd thing. WD-40 is usually used for rusted surfaces or loosening stubborn parts, but it should not be used for chain lubrication. Its excessively fluid nature prevents it from sticking inside the chain where it should really lubricate. So using it to lube your chain is not a go. It won't do the job effectively and might even create more problems. Always go for a proper bicycle chain lubricants for the best results. 6. Not changing your cleats on time. This part is especially for the friends using clipless pedals, because many of us, myself included, tend to neglect changing our cleats on time, especially for the road bike cleats. Since they are made of plastic, they wear out quickly in the usage of avid cyclists like us. This wear and tear have not only visual but also physical consequences that affect body mechanics. For instance, as your cleats wear out, the engagement tightness decreases and your feet may start moving not just side to side but also rocking. This can lead to discomfort and even pain, particularly in ankles and knees. Moreover, worn out cleats can break or cause accidents, especially when you are sprinting or putting huge amount of power into your pedals. Similar situations apply to the metal cleats, although they wear out much more slowly, commonly used in mountain biking and touring. That's why I wouldn't recommend sticking to the same cleats for tens of years, assuming they are not worn. Wear and tear can be very little and it accumulates over the time. Alright, we have come to the end of this episode. If you found what I shared useful, give the video a thumbs up and help it to reach more cyclists. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications not to miss out similar content. Until the next episode, stay safe and keep pedaling.